The poodle, German meaning splash in the water, is a breed that currently belongs mainly to the group of decorative dogs. Initially, the poodle was a working dog, in particular, it was used for hunting. The poodle is ranked second in the ranking of the smartest breeds, compiled by Dr. Stanley Coren, after the Border Collie. They are able to adapt to almost any climate. It is believed that poodles were bred in France, but some call their homeland Germany, as the word poodle is of German origin. It should be noted, however, that in France this breed of dogs is called caniche from cane duck, which indicates the origin of the poodle from hunting, French water dogs. Poodles have a lifespan of 10 to 18 years. In Europe, the poodle has been known since the 15th and 16th centuries. For a long time it remained a dog that could only belong to royalty. For this, the large, royal poodle got its name, and not at all for the size, as some believe. In the 18th century, large poodles were actively used in hostilities, mainly to search for the wounded and provide field communications. In Russia, poodles were also used as a working breed, mainly hunting with a poodle was for ducks. Also, the poodle can be used as a herding dog. Varieties. Poodles are very diverse in appearance. The FCI standard recognizes 4 growth varieties, 6 colors and 2 types of wool. Growth varieties. Standard or large, it is traditionally also called royal, French grand large, from 45 to 60 centimeters at the withers small, fr. Moyen medium, from 35 to 45 centimeters at the withers miniature or dwarf, fr. Named dwarf, from 28 to 35 centimeters at the withers toy below 28 centimeters at the withers. Wool types. Curly. Cord. There are various colors in the breed, but the standard of the breed is the classic colors black, white and brown, as well as newer, so-called modern, silver and red, from fawn to bright orange. Some canine organizations recognize the phantom, black and tan, and harlequin, white and black varieties, as well as other modified colors, including brindle. In exhibitions, dogs of these colors come out in separate rings. In fact, in many federations, these colors are allocated to separate breeds. Head. Elongated. The skull is slightly convex, with a pronounced occiput. The transition from forehead to muzzle is not abrupt. The bridge of the nose is straight. The eyes are almond-shaped, dark brown, in brown and brown pigmented apricot and red dogs, brown to amber. The lips are dry tight-fitting. The color of the nose, depending on the color. In blacks black, in whites black, brown is acceptable, but undesirable, in browns brown, in silvers black, in apricot and red black or brown. The color of the nose of harlequins is determined by the color of the colored areas of the coat. The color of the nose of tan poodles depends on the base color, black or brown. A lightened nose, winter nose, is highly undesirable. Character. The poodle gives the impression of an intelligent, constantly attentive and active dog, full of self-esteem. Due to its observation and high interest in interacting with a person, the poodle learns easily and with interest, and with a competent approach it stably demonstrates the mastered skills, which earned him the fame of an ideal circus dog. Due to their origin, poodles have a pronounced propensity for hunting and can be successfully used for hunting water and upland game, mainly birds. Currently, the practice of hunting with poodles is widespread mainly in the USA and Canada, where large, standard, royal poodles work as gun dogs when hunting a pheasant, a duck, less often another bird, and a hare. Russia also has experience in hunting with poodles. Large poodles are mainly used as guard dogs, very rarely small ones. Thanks to their excellent instinct, poodles can be successfully used in search and rescue and custom services. In the USSR, in the DOSIF system, large poodles were included in the list of service breeds. Whatever activity the poodle is busy with, he works willingly and recklessly. The diet. The diet of a poodle should consist of animal and plant food, containing all the substances necessary for the body. It has been established that to ensure the normal functioning of the dog's body per 1 kilogram of body weight per day, it is required. Proteins 4-5 grams, fats 1-2, carbohydrates 12-15, mineral salts 8-10 grams, vitamins. A 1-5 milligrams, B1 0.5, C10, B2-2-3, pp. 10 milligrams. When feeding with natural food, the diet should be dominated by meat, beef, and meat products, which should make up about 2/3 of the diet. Meat is allowed to be used fresh or frozen after thawing, raw, in small pieces. The daily dose ranges from 30 to 400 grams, depending on the weight and age of the poodle. Norms. When feeding with meat byproducts, they must be boiled. Also, fish is needed in the diet 1-2 times a week. Sea fish is given to dogs raw, freshwater boiled. Fins and bones should be removed first. The daily allowance is from 30 to 300 grams, depending on the weight, just like with meat. Puppies up to 3 months old are given any fish only boiled. Grooming poodles. To participate in exhibitions held according to the FCI rules, RK. In Russia, regional organizations and other countries, the following haircut options are currently allowed. Haircut lion. Regardless of the type of coat, curly or corded, the poodle is clipped on the hind legs to the ribs. Also cut. Muzzle top and bottom to the lower eyelids, cheeks, fore and hind legs, except for cuffs or bracelets, which are optional on the hind legs, tail with the exception of a round or oval pompon, which must be preserved. Mustaches are a must for everyone. It is allowed to leave the hair on the front legs, which is called pants. Haircut modern. On the hind and forelegs, the hair is left under the following rules. 1. Shears her hair. A. The lower part of the forelimbs from the claws to the claw on the wrist, the lower part of the hind limbs to a height corresponding to the forelimbs. Clipping is limited to the toes. Head and tail in accordance with the rules described above. As an exception, this haircut is allowed. Short beard on the lower jaw, which should not be longer than 1 centimeter, its lower line is cut parallel to the jaw. A beard shape called a bove goat beard is not allowed. Lack of pompon on the tail too. Shortened coat. Forms a top line along the body, cut more or less long to create a moire effect, but not less than 1 centimeter. The length of the coat gradually increases on the sides to the upper part of the legs. 3. Lined coat. A cap of a reasonable height is left on the head, in the same way, the hair is left on the neck from the back to the withers, and in front, the wool forms a continuous line to the shaved part of the paws, while the line becomes slightly inclined at the height of the sternum. The hair on the upper part of the ears, at most in the upper third of their length, can be shortened with scissors or shaved off in the direction of hair growth. The underside of the ears is left with fur, which increases in length from top to bottom and ends in a lined fringe. B. A clear transition from pants to the shaved part of the paws is formed on the limbs. The length of the drawn coat gradually increases towards the shoulders and hips and ranges from 4 to 7 centimeters, depending on the height of the poodle, but excessive splendor should be avoided. The trousers on the hind legs should emphasize the typical poodle angulation. Any fantasies leading to deviation from these norms of the standard are excluded. Regardless of which haircut is used, it should in no way affect the assessment at the exhibition. All submitted poodles that start in the same class must be described and judged together. English haircut. In this haircut, bracelets or cuffs on the hind legs are modeled in the development of the lion haircut. Top notes on the head. A mustache is optional for this haircut. The absence of a clear distinction between the fur on the hind legs is acceptable. A top note is also optional, it is strictly forbidden to use varnishes or any other means to create a top note. Poodles not trimmed according to the standard while they look like this cannot be judged at official shows, however, because of this they cannot be disqualified for breeding. Haircut poppy. The poppy haircut is allowed at exhibitions as a preparatory stage for the exhibition haircuts given in the appendix to the standard. Poppy cut for dogs not participating in exhibitions, other, more practical, haircuts are used. Poodle. Price and how to buy correctly. A poodle puppy from professional breeders will cost from $400 to $500. To get to know poodles better, you should visit dog shows of this breed and communicate with breeders. There you will learn about the characteristics of dogs of this breed from various specialists, you will be able to determine which kennel you like best. In the kennel, examining the puppies, select the most active and curious ones. Lazy, immobile and intimidated puppies should be discarded from the breed. At the same time, puppies are afraid of loud noises. This is normal for poodles. Breeders can be asked to photograph the final product, that is, to look at already adult dogs from the kennel. It is best to talk to people who have already taken poodles in this kennel and ask if there are any deviations from the norm in already adult dogs. Adult dogs should remain active and cheerful. Poodles are very loyal to their owners. You shouldn't buy an adult dog from someone else's hands, it will never get used to you and will always yearn for the previous owner. It will be possible to re-educate such a dog, all the habits and features of training will remain with it. At every opportunity, such a poodle will run away from home in search of its owner.